We're in Way Media.
Hello, Twisted Humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia. And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Hello, and welcome to an episode of your favorite podcast. This is episode 172, week 3 of spooky season. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see that we took some listener suggestions. You guys voted on Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, so we're in the house. I also just wanted to say something super fun. So I was listening to a couple of our old episodes recently, and I think episode like 13 or 14, it was when we started saying your favorite podcast. And somewhere along the way, it just kind of fizzled out, and Sierra brought it back. So we're your favorite. Friendly reminder to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now, because it truly is the best way to spread the word. Now, we have reached our special topics for this round of categories voted on by you guys. I do just want to make a quick note that we have a Patreon pick banked for the next round. You know who you are. The reason being is it didn't feel right covering it while we were dressed up in costume. So we always want to be focused first. And while we are always victim focused, even when we're dressed up, it was a touchy topic. So we took a suggestion from our podcast friend Tara from 3 Spooked Girls, and she suggested faked deaths. So that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
People have faked their deaths for hundreds of years for a variety of reasons, from insurance payouts to escape relationships, crimes, debts. But most petty, in my opinion, is the faked death to see how their loved ones would react. Today, I am covering the old-timey faked death of Lord Timothy Dexter.
Ross Geller?
No, but I do have a Ross Geller line in my notes.
Okay.
Get out of my head.
Sorry.
But first, Sierra, do you have a fun fact for me?
I do. As I am wearing these beautiful plants, my fun fact is about plants today.
Yes, love it.
I hope we haven't talked about this already because I feel like we're running out of fun facts, but the smell of fresh cut grass is actually a distress signal.
What?
So when grass or other leafy plants are harmed, they release organic compounds called green leaf volatiles as a distress signal. So like, I just got hurt.
Oh, that's so sad.
These compounds form new cells to heal those wounds faster, and they produce compounds to prevent further damage. The smell itself also summons beneficial insects to help the plant recover. So freshly cutting your grass is actually just asking it to grow back faster, because it's like, I'm dying, someone help, and everyone comes to help.
I love nature.
It's fucking crazy.
My fun fact is related to my costume as well. Harley Quinn has been a long-time favorite character for me, and hence why I have one of her original costumes, because I think she's awesome and a little kooky, kind of like me. But my fun fact is something that I actually didn't know about her, in that at one point she was portrayed as an Amazonian woman.
Huh.
One of the many escapades of Harley Quinn included her reforming her maniacal ways and taking up as an Amazonian woman. If that's hard for you to picture, check out the issue number 43 of the Countdown series of the DC comic books, which saw her in her traditional clown makeup and hat, but much taller. She's also a skilled warrior in this one because the Amazonian women took her in, so I thought that was really interesting
That is interesting.
because she is not normally an Amazonian woman. I think we would have noticed while she was counseling the Joker. My headphones are trying to escape my head, guys. One thing about recording during spooky season is that it's not always headband costume friendly.
Yep.
Sierra, as you can't even see under all that red hair and beautiful vinage. So today, to cope with our stupid headphones, we're going to have some wine. I was on a mission to find something fun and spooky for October, and everything wine delivered. I discovered a line of wines from Chronic Cellars with a look that's skeletons meets Dia de los Muertos, like with all the colors and feel to it. And I was like, yes, I love this. So today for our white, we are featuring their sparkling Chardonnay, and it's called Spritz and Giggles.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Sierra and I love a pun. So the logo says, tickle your palate with this Chardonnay-based sparkler with flavors of pears, apples, and fresh-baked bread, along with citrus, floral, and spice notes. You're welcome. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Chardonnay, as I've disclosed on the show many times, but this one is actually quite light, and it's got like a good lingering citrusy flavor on the end, as opposed to the butteriness that we do not like. And I like the bubbliness of it. So I apologize to my future self that is editing this, as that means more burpees, but I can't wait to try more of their wines.
Yeah, I have to admit that when you said Spritz and Giggles, obviously I thought of shits and giggles, but
yes,
the thing that always comes to mind when I hear shits and giggles now is a sign that I saw in a bathroom one time that said it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. So I was thinking about actual literal shit, and then you said something about tickling, and I was like, what is happening? And then I remembered that, shits and giggles is actually like a funny thing.
Yeah.
Aside from
Not
the literal
giggling and
shit.
shitting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. Maybe that will be next week's fun fact as to where the term shits and giggles came from.
Yeah.
But before we get into this week's Faked Deaths episode, we are going to hear a quick promo from our friends Sam and Tracy over at the Suspended Sentence podcast, and we will be right back. Welcome back. So, in the episode of Friends, the one with the memorial service, Chandler and Ross spread rumors about each other to get reactions online. But Chandler takes it one step further when he spreads a rumor that Ross is dead amongst their college friends. Intrigued, Ross later decides to hold a memorial service to see who would turn up, which got me thinking, has this ever happened to anyone else? Has anyone else ever done this? It seems a bit extreme to me to see how your loved ones would react or how many people might attend your funeral service, but to each their own. But that happened in history. Timothy Dexter was an eccentric American businessman known for his writings, and I will say his writings are not good. They were notable because of purposeful misspellings and grammatical errors that gave it a little bit of whimsy.
There's a fucking book out, in like a normal priced regular ass fucking book, like a book, like it looks as thick as this one, okay? And it's called Meow Meow. And it's written by a cat. And every single page is just the word meow over and over and over and over again.
Oh, that's, I feel like, abusive trees.
That's like, listen, that's like that one time when Cards
At
Against
band camp?
Humanity made a special box of just bullshit. And when people ordered it, there was literal cow shit in it. That's like that. Like people are like, oh, I wonder what that book is. Let me order it. It's literally just meow. Okay. Like, that's fucked up.
So I'm curious to know how many copies of that book were sold. I need that data immediately. Somebody find it.
Let me see how many reviews it has.
Yeah, please do. And
On
if there's any
Amazon.
good ones.
346 pages. It says, description, a novel for your cat written in its native language. The word meow repeated over 80,000 times to rapturous effect, which is just fucking absurd. Okay. It is the number 6 book, best-selling book in the category cat care. Number 11 in puns and wordplay. Number 21 in cat, dog, and animal humor. 4.7 out of 5 stars with 149 reviews.
Who's buying this book?
Okay, wait. This is so good though. Okay, this review says, my son is very studious and it's taken me a while to find a book he enjoys, that is, until I found Meow. He's about 50% into the book, but I feel that his vocabulary has tripled already. Intelligent book for my very intelligent son. Let me show you a picture of their son reading the book. Okay. Anyway.
Timothy's book was not all meows, sadly.
But it still was shit.
Written for children, but yes, it is still a shitty book. You are going to actually read a passage from it at some point here.
Okay.
He became wealthy through marriage and successful investments, but he wasn't one of those rich people that is super frugal. He actually spent his money quite lavishly. And I mentioned in the intro that he was a lord. Well, that was self-titled, so just adding to his quirkiness.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna just start calling myself Lady Alecia for the sake of it. Like, who? You don't think that'll work? You don't think it'll spread?
I think maybe you might be sent to a padded room.
Especially if I throw in the English accent on top of it. You're like, no, hold on. She's actually saying it came from a podcast episode. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
He was born on January 22nd, 1747 in Malden, Massachusetts. No one will ever hear me say it like that again, so enjoy. His family had immigrated from Ireland, and they were quite hard off for money. Timothy dropped out of school at the age of 8 to work on his family's farm. When he was 16, he began working as a tanner's apprentice, moving to Newburyport.
Okay, wait, when was he born?
He was born in 1747.
What the fuck is a tanner's apprentice?
So a tanner is like treating leather, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's what gave the leathers like different tints and shades.
Yeah.
From my understanding. I'm glad you asked because I definitely just skipped right over that.
Well, I was like, they had tanning beds in the 1700s. What?
And why?
What's going on?
Why is he apprenticing in that?
Oh no, Jesse's brother has done that.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was there that he, at this tanner's apprentice work, that he met and married 32-year-old Elizabeth Frothingham, who was a rich widower at the time. And I know what you're thinking. 1632, real gross, but it's 1700s.
Listen, I didn't even catch their age over Frothingham. So, what is that?
It is something terrible that happens, and also this lady's last name.
I feel like people back then were usually named after things that happened in real life, you know, like her first ancestor who had a last name. So like, who frothed his ham? Like, what the fuck happens here? I don't understand.
Oh, it's so gross though. Yeah, it definitely gives a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
It's what happened when we poured ice cream into that wine float that one time. It was a frothing ham situation.
Ew.
You know what? That was delicious. I feel like we got to do that one again.
Mine turned out fine. I don't know what happened to yours. It's probably all of the like cancer that they put in American food. It was great. Mixed well.
I think you actually made that joke on that episode too, which is even better. So Timothy would set up a shop in the basement of his new home, selling moose hide trousers, gloves, hides, and whale blubber. Not entirely sure what type of shop this is, but to each their own.
It reminds me of the one in Frozen when they're like, ooh, big summer
Big
blowout.
summer blowout.
That's what it reminds me of.
I love it. In an effort to elevate his social status, Timothy began to write petitions supporting that he should be considered for public office. Newburyport's government decided that the best way to silence him in his many petitions that were coming in was to give him a title. So they gave him the title of Informer of Deer, since there really wasn't a deer population in Newburyport. And again, really not sure what this title entails, but I thought it was hilarious.
Does he talk to the deer or about the deer? Because I can't tell.
He's like the Snow White meets the guy in Frozen with his story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gathering.
Okay. Also, I feel like it's bad parenting to be like, this kid is really annoying, just give him what he wants already. Even though this is not a kid and they are not his parents, they're the literal fucking government.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay.
So he's running the store. He's the informer of deer. He's happy.
Mm-hmm.
He would then go on to build 2 ships and started an export trade to the Caribbean and Europe. Because he was largely uneducated, having dropped out of school at the age of 8, his business sense was considered peculiar at best, and he was also quite gullible. For example, he was advised to send bed warmers used to heat beds in the cold New England winters for resale in the Caribbean. This advice was given to him deliberately by his rivals to bankrupt him, but his ship captain had his back and sold them as ladles to local molasses industries, and he actually made a pretty good profit.
I do not know what a 1700s bed warmer looks like, but I do not imagine it
like
a
metal bowl-shaped type thing with a handle at the end so that you're not getting too close to the hot coals. So you would like scoop hot embers into this metal bowl, and then on top of it there was like a little grated vented lid to keep it like warm, but the steam would rise.
Warm your bed.
You would put it under your bed.
That sounds like a fire. Like, are we just lighting fires under where we're sleeping?
No, you're scooping hot embers into a bowl-shaped thing and putting it under your bed. Mm-hmm. I know. I literally wrote in my notes the description of this, and then for anyone not born in the 1700s.
This is what Darwin was talking about.
So his employees really bailed him out, and it was kind of genius. He also sent wool mittens to the Caribbean, where luckily there was Asian merchants on site that bought them for resale in Siberia. So a total fluke on that one. Wow. It's clear that Timothy has never been to the Caribbean because they do not need wool mittens or bed warmers.
Mm. This man.
People even jokingly told him to ship coal to Newcastle. By happenstance, he did so during a Newcastle miners' strike, and his cargo was actually sold at a premium. So there you go. Total fluke.
Okay, this is like the world's luckiest man.
Truly. On another occasion, practical jokesters told him that he could make money by shipping gloves to the South Seas islands. His ships arrived there just in time to sell gloves to Portuguese boaters who were on their way to China. So a lot of dumb luck and happenstance for him, which in this part of our story makes me happy because the people that were trying to sabotage him were kind of bullying him for his naivety, which isn't right. So I'm glad it kind of worked out for him.
I was just gonna say he's also kind of just like a fucking dumb baby. So
A little bit.
yeah, I don't feel that bad for him. But I get, good thing he's lucky, I guess. But also, how can you just beg the government, like annoy the government so fucking much that they make you a deer whisperer in a land without deer? Like, what the fuck?
Sierra, are you upset? Did you want that title?
Yep. I should be the deer whisperer.
Truly. I mean, you got some serious like Disney princess
Dude,
hair happening over
It
there,
is
so
driving me crazy.
it looks really pretty. It's giving Ariel, and I'm here for it. It does work for Poison Ivy too, though.
It is giving Ariel.
No. Despite his marriage and his success, the high society folk didn't really accept Timothy still. Eventually, he decided the only way that he was going to get respect that he deserved was if he had a title. So he moved to Chester and insisted that people call him the Earl of Chester, and any child who called him Lord Chester would receive a quarter. If an adult referred to him as Lord Chester, they would get dinner and drinks at his home. He bought a large house from a well-known socialite named Nathaniel Tracy and tried to emulate his lavishness in hopes that it would help elevate his social life. He decorated his house in his very own eccentric style, though, including marionettes, a golden eagle at the top of the stairs, a mausoleum for himself, and a garden with 40 wooden statues of famous men such as George Washington, William Pitt, Napoleon Bonaparte, Thomas Jefferson, and of course himself. Despite his fortune and all other luxuries that he had procured, it wasn't enough for Timothy. He reportedly drank too much and had a, quote, wandering eye, and his relationship suffered as a result. In fact, he refused to acknowledge his wife's presence in the home that they shared, often referring to her as a ghost.
What the fuck?
This is the wackiest fucking story I've ever come across.
Can you imagine like the fucking insane gaslighting to like pretend that person is not even alive?
Right? That's so fucked up.
What the fucking fuck?
That's so fucked up. He frequently told visitors that his wife, who was actually alive, had died, and that the woman frequenting their home was her ghost. My speculation is that he was being facetious if there was trouble in their relationship, based on that fact that he ignored her as well. But the natural response from people when someone loses a loved one is through sympathies and well wishes and gifts. So this got Timothy thinking, how would people react if I died? Timothy Dexter would go on to fake his own death to do just that. See how people around him would react. This ruse went so far that there was even a funeral held for him, where 3,000 people attended. But this is when Timothy would suffer his final humiliation in his social circle.
Did his wife go along with this?
She had no idea.
What the fuck?
Shortly after the ceremony, his ruse was revealed when he was found in the kitchen beating his wife with a cane. Instead of playing the mourning widow, he had found her happily laughing with guests, and this just cemented his reputation as being a, quote, buffoon who had gotten rich through luck rather than brains.
What?
So
the
he
fuck?
was pissed off at her for not crying and being sad enough over his death.
I knew I didn't like this man.
His social status would suffer for the rest of his days. And having so much time alone, this is when Timothy turned to his infamous writings. At the age of 50, Timothy wrote A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, where he complained about politicians, the clergy, and his wife. The piece is 8,847 words and 33,864 letters, without any punctuation, unorthodox spelling, capitalizations throughout where they don't belong. Timothy also signs his name at the end of each chapter as if they were letters written to the reader. An example is pasted in the chat, Sierra, if you would like to read that line to the people. What do you think that says?
Okay. Was he okay? Okay. I'm gonna try to say this the way it's written, not the way it's probably meant to be said. Okay.
Yeah.
I me, the first lord in the United States of a Mercari, now of Newburyport, it is the voice of the Popel, and I can't help it, and so let it go.
Well done.
Yeah, I don't was he okay? Like,
is any part of this story a reflection that this man was okay?
like it started where I was like, oh, he's a silly weird dude, like
Yeah.
the yoo-hoo guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Think
then
somewhere
it
below us.
slowly got to like, okay, you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, you're a bad man, you're beating your wife. And now it's like, maybe you need the padded room, actually. Because that's not normal.
It says, I'm the first lord in the United States of America, now of Newburyport, and the voice of the people, and I can't help it, so let it go. But I like
Except none
Sierra's
of it is
rendition
spelled
better.
correctly.
Yeah, it's not good. The whole book is written this way. The first edition was self-published in Salem,
Definitely
Massachusetts,
self-published.
in
Who the fuck is publishing
1802.
her?
Timothy initially distributed his book for free, but it became popular when it was reprinted 8 times. The second edition was printed in Newburyport in 1805, and in the second edition, Timothy added a little extra, responding to complaints about the book's lack of punctuation by adding an extra 11 lines of punctuation marks with the instruction that printers and readers could insert them wherever they needed.
What
Also,
the fuck?
he's like, period,
He is
comma, semicolon,
unhinged.
exclamation point. Do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
he's the definition of unhinged. More so, and that's coming from me right now, so. Timothy Dexter would die for real on October 26th, 1906, at the age of 59 years old. After his death, Timothy's house and its household furniture and all of his golden garden statues were auctioned off. Fewer than 6 of the original 40 statues are still around to this day. The Timothy Dexter house was briefly converted into an inn in 1809, and then flash forward to 1984, where a man named William Quill purchased the house for $200,000 and restored it.
Is this the inn that had red rum written on the wall and it was just because he didn't know how to fucking spell? Like, maybe that's what happened all along.
Maybe.
The ghost was just a fucking idiot.
I didn't read any of that, but maybe. Unfortunately, though, right when they were about to finish the renovations and restorations, a blowtorch accident caused a fire that gutted the entire building.
They were trying to heat their bed.
Pretty much. But the original blueprints preserved by the Society for Preservation of New England Antiquities allowed the house to be rebuilt exactly as it was. The Timothy Dexter house remains the Quill family's private residence to this day. But there is a plaque on the gate outside of the house that reads, Lord Dexter is a man of fame, most celebrated in his name, more precious far than gold that's pure. Lord Dexter, shine forevermore. After Timothy Dexter's death, a street that intersects the High Street corner where Timothy Dexter's house was located was named Dexter Lane in his honor. And the first house that was built on the street was constructed in 1967.
Why are we honoring this man?
The Dexter Lane project is now a 16-unit affordable housing development and is currently planned to be built at 14 Dexter Lane, which
Can we get that shit renamed?
I think is a nice way to end the story because he came from a poor family and luckily married rich and had all of these happenstance business ventures, but
And then
not
beat his
everyone
wife.
has the same luxury. So a positive light in that kooky faked death story that maybe somebody can have a nice house at an affordable price.
Yeah.
But yes,
Let's rename it though.
I
What was her name
agree.
again?
Really, you forgot that? Frothingham?
Oh my God. What was her first name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Let's call it the Elizabeth House, please. Not Frothingham, because holy shit.
And that is the story of Lord Timothy Dexter and his kooky faked death and life.
What a fucking weirdo. I'm
Have you
petitioning for
ever-
it to be called Elizabeth House, by the way.
I will sign that petition with you, but I hope that our listeners enjoyed a little bit of lighthearted energy because you know what happens after special topics. That and, you know, it's Halloween, everyone's having fun. We got our wine, we got our kooky man with all of his weird statues.
You know, I have to say that next week we are recording bonus and my episode, right?
Yes.
Both my bonus and my episode have similarities to this episode you just did. Weirdly.
Get out.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll discuss it next week.
I guess so. And if you want to find out about that, you'll have to join Patreon at patreon.com/twisted and uncorked.
Mhm.
That, and we've got a lot of fun serendipitous stories over there anyway. But yes, thank you so much, Tara, for this suggestion for faked deaths. And before we roll on out of here, Sierra, do you have anything happy or something you're looking forward to?
I'm almost done with school. I feel like I keep saying that. By the
Well,
time
you
this
told
comes
the
out,
patrons, so
well, I still won't be done yet, actually. But yeah, I'm just really close. I'm learning about lashes now, finally.
is that why your lashes look fucking phenomenal today?
No, these are still just the ones that I was gonna do the fake ones on myself, but I got too scared. These are just the magnet ones still.
Gotcha. At least your magnet ones work. My magnet ones are
Oh yeah,
trash.
I'm only buying things at the special stores where we were taken on field trips to like this is where you buy professional stuff. Like that's where I've been buying everything lately and I'm like this stuff is cheaper and better. It's amazing. You
Is
gotta
it
have your
the
card to get in there.
lashes with the magnetic eyeliner, or is it the ones
Mhm.
that you pinch on your top and bottom eyelashes?
No, it has magnetic eyeliner, but it has 5 different tiny magnets in it. Yeah, most of the ones that I find like at Target or the dollar store or whatever
Have,
only
like,
has
three.
3, sometimes 2, one in the front and one in the back, and they just don't fucking stay. This one has 5.
Mine
It's
worked
great.
for the Halloween that I bought it for, but now
Mm.
no longer works. And I
Yeah.
bought the TikTok like clamp lash ones, and I
Yeah.
cannot for my life figure it out. It makes me hostile.
I bought some of those like the first year they ever came out, like literally in like 2012. Like super early on in magnetic lash time, the ones that are top and bottom, they worked perfectly. I fucking loved them. I wore them all the time. And somewhere along the way, I lost them. And
Well,
I've bought some since, and they never work.
I was
Those
gonna
first
say,
ones worked, and
I bought
I can never
two
get them to work
because they
anymore.
were like a 2-for-1 thing, and
Yeah.
I haven't even opened the second one because they make me angry. So my eyelashes are pretty much non-existent today because I came from a Pilates class and quickly threw on makeup. So
Yeah.
this is what we
Oh,
get, peeps.
let me say a different thing that I'm happy about, because I feel like I've used that one too many times. I am happy that next week, as we're recording this anyway, is fall break for my children. And since I won't have to deal with waking up and taking them to school every fucking morning, I'm definitely going to the gym, number one. Number two, I'm finally gonna start meal prepping. I bought little meal prep containers, and I'm gonna fix my life with food. That's what I'm
I
gonna
know
do.
that things have been feeling a little out of sorts this last couple of months with you being in school. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for
it's
that.
a lot.
And I'm excited for you to start your career. It'll be great.
It will.
And next time you go to the store, pick me up a pair of those lashes. I'll send you money.
What are you thankful for, happy for, excited about?
You know what? I'm gonna go super basic white bitch here. You're gonna roll your eyes real hard at me, but the new season of Love is Blind was released today,
Oh
so
my gosh.
I will be watching an episode of that when we're said and done here.
Yeah.
And eating dinner my husband made.
There's a new show called I think it's called No One Wants This or something. That I'm super excited to start watching.
With Adam
Adam
Brody,
Brody
and
Kristen
Kristen
Bell.
Bell. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what this karate chop motion was. It was me being excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about
When
it.
does that come out?
It's out already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have
That's
to
what
start
I
that.
was gonna do tonight, but I gotta go to bed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We will definitely watch that together and talk about it on Bitch and Wine. So there you go. I can't wait. I love Adam Brody so much.
Me
I
too.
love Kristen Bell, but Adam Brody hasn't really done anything in a while, so I'm really
Adam Brody
excited.
is my fucking favorite human. Like, first of all, he will always be Seth Cohen to me. Even though he
Yes.
was Dave Rogalski first, he will
100%.
always be Seth Cohen.
Icon.
He was in Single Parents with Leighton Meester, who is his wife.
I was just gonna say, and he's married to Blair Waldorf. So
Exactly. Yeah, I follow up on him a lot. I love him.
I do too. So go and love on Seth Cohen / Adam Brody's new show. Let us know if you guys watch it. We love hearing from you, even if it's not crime or creepy related. And we will see you next Tuesday for Sierra's fake death story. And in the meantime, keep it twisted. Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alecia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.